Good morning, all you cool cats and kittens. So this is chapter 3 of Anne Frank, the graphic novel. So we're going to read this. We're going to do our little worksheet. And then we're also going to do April 13th's work. Okay, so we got April 10th and April 13th today. The Nazis had already killed the Jews who stayed behind in Germany, and they were planning to kill all the Jews in Holland. By now, it was too late for the Frank family to run away to another country, so Anne's father told her that soon the family might go into hiding. On June 12, 1942, Anne Frank had a birthday. She was 13 years old. One of her birthday presents was a diary. A diary is a book that has blank pages so that you can write something about your life each day. At first, Anne wrote, "No one can be interested in the secrets of a girl who is only 13. I'm going to call my diary Kitty." So she actually named her diary so she could talk to it. She wrote about Nazi laws. Jews must wear a yellow star. Jews cannot go outside at night. We are afraid to do anything because it may be against the law. Anne's sister Margot got an order from the Germans. She was told to take a train to a prison camp where she would become a slave for the Germans. Mr. and Mrs. Frank could not allow this to happen. So that night, Anne's family began to pack their things. It was time to go into hiding. The streets were empty when the Franks left their house. They walked 2 miles across the city. When they got to the hiding place, Anne was surprised. It was the small building where her father had started his business. Okay, so you see how this building has multiple floors, okay? These first 2 floors, all right, are where the business happened, okay? And then these floors up here were empty. That is where Anne's family is going to be hiding while someone else takes care of Mr. Frank's business, okay? Someone that he can trust, okay? So Anne got her diary. What did she name it? Kitty. That's true, okay? She just turned 13. She got a diary, and they are going into hiding because the Germans sent for her sister Margot to go to a prison camp. And they're running from that. Okay? So we'll find out what happens in chapter 4 next. Alright. So today's work, or Friday's work, okay, is this vocabulary maze. Alright? Now, it's a maze because in order to get through it, we need to pick the best word that fits each sentence. Okay? And I heard someone online say, this is easy. Okay? Now, remember, what does Mr. Alt say in class? We don't want to announce, this is easy, because something that is easy for you might be hard for somebody else. And if you're having trouble with something, it might make you feel bad if everyone says, this is easy, this is easy. Okay? So instead you might say, I had fun doing this. Okay? If you thought it wasn't very hard, maybe just, I had fun. Okay? Alright, that might be something better instead of saying, this was easy. Alright? But let's go through and figure out how we can get through this maze. Alright. On June 12th, 1942, Anne Frank had a birthday. She was 13 years old. Okay? 13 years old. Okay? Alright. One of her birthday pictures, food, presents, okay, was a diary. She got that as a present. Picture could work, but not in this sense because it's the diary, okay? Because people take pictures on their birthday, but this is a present. A blank is a book that blank pages. Well, we just talked about this, so probably talking about it again, okay? So we just talked about a diary. So now we're going to explain what is a diary. A diary is a book that wants blank pages, how blank pages, has blank pages. That has blank pages so that children can write something about, can write something about, you can write something. Well, children does work so that children can write something, but I think that it not just children can write in a diary. I think adults can too. So maybe that you can write. Yeah, so let's try this. So that you. So you see, sometimes two words will work and you have to figure out which one best works. You can write something about your home, your life, your live each day. Live doesn't work. Home or life. I think you can write about your home, but your home is a part of your life, and that's what a diary is about. So, life. Something about your life each day. You see how live and life, okay, are the same word, just different conjunctions. Or not, different. Okay. You see how live and life are the same word, just different tenses, okay? All right? Live is something you're doing, okay? You're living, all right? You live at home, okay? Life is something you have. It's something you own. It's something you can write about, okay? So this is a noun. This is a verb. Each day. At first, Father wrote. I think Anne was writing. So at first, Anne wrote, no one can be, I remember this from the story. No one can be interested in the secrets. See how I use the story there? I remember hearing this part from the story. No one can be interested in the secrets of she's a girl. So, of a girl who is only 13. Okay? Mom's going to call my diary. No, I think I'm going to call my diary. Which means I am, going to call my diary Kitty. All right. Anne wrote about Nazi laws. Jews must wear a blank star. I remember this in the story. It was like a yellow star. So a yellow star. And they had to wear those so that Germans could identify them. Jews cannot go outside at night. We are afraid to do anything because it may be against the law. And Sister Margot got an order from the Germans. So guys, you guys completed this maze, okay? Hopefully it was fun to do, if it wasn't too hard. And if it was hard, hopefully it taught you could read the sentence and use context clues to figure out the best word, okay? All right, I hope everyone had fun with this, and let's go to the next thing we're going to do. All right. So in this war, World War II, we have two different groups, all right? We have the Allies and the Axis. The Allies won World War II. The Allies were led by three countries: Great Britain, United States, and the Soviet Union. That doesn't mean they were the only three countries in there, but they were three of the biggest, okay? The Axis lost the war. The Axis was led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. The map and chart also show Canada and China. Did you know Canada and China played a part in this war? Which side were they on? Let's look. Okay, so this chart right here we're going to use to answer questions. So we need to take a good look. You can see that an X marks which side each country was on. Australia, wow, they took place in World War II? Did you guys know that? They were actually on the Allies' side. Okay, so they were part of the Allies. Canada was also part of the Allies. All right. China was on our side. They were allies. Okay, France was allies. All right. And then we come down to Germany. Germany was Axis. I can tell because it's on this side of the chart now. Great Britain was allies. Italy was Axis. Japan was Axis. Okay, Soviet Union was allies. United States was allies. If you look at this chart, who has more countries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. So you would think these 7 would that's double, more than double the Axis, right? So these guys must have just won really easy. Well, Germany and Italy, okay, and even Japan were very big military powers. Because they had dictatorships, they spent a lot of money on their militaries. So they were a force to be reckoned with. And you can see all these countries had to come together. The whole world war, had to come together, okay, in order to stop these 3, okay? So that's why this war is such a big part and why we're learning about it in history and even reading about it in English, is because this was a huge war and we almost lost. It was very, very conceivable that we could have lost if we did not storm the beach in Normandy, okay? So this is a huge war, World War II. All right. Now, let's use this chart to answer some other questions on the back. Okay, chart tells us which countries won World War II, the Allies, and which countries lost World War II, the Axis. Put an X in the box next to each country to show whether that country won or lost the war. So you have to, it's not just saying if it was Axis or Allies now, you have to say whether they won or lost. So an important thing to remember here is who won and who lost. Who won? Let's see. The Allies. So I'm going to make a little thing right here over the won section so that I know that the Allies are the ones that won. Okay, and who lost? The Axis. Okay, so here we have the Axis powers. There we go. All right, now we have to say who won and who lost. We're going to use the same method, that X method, all right, in the United States. Okay, now, did we win or lose? Well, let's look here, down here, the United States. I can see there's an X in the Allies column. So we won. We were a part of the Allies. Okay. How about Germany? Without even looking, can anyone tell me, did Germany win or lose? Right. Germany was the main bad guy here for the Axis. Okay. And they lost. Okay. How about Japan? Japan, if we come back here and look at this sheet, okay, Japan also lost, okay, they were Axis, all right, and Japan became one of our main foes, okay, in the Pacific Theater whenever they bombed Pearl Harbor, which is an American naval base in Hawaii that Japan attacked. All right, China, let's see, China. And China is a different country than Japan, for those who didn't know, okay? They are an entirely different culture. And they were on the Allies, okay? So, they are the Allies. And there we go. We can tell who won or lost, and you guys had to put together with a table here that tells you if they were Allies or Axis, and you had to remember which side won and which side lost. The Axis, which was kind of the bad guys, right? Germany, Japan, and Italy, they lost. And the Allies, which is pretty much the rest of the world, won. Okay, except Switzerland. They were neutral. All right, guys. So hopefully this helped a little bit. This was a fun activity. You guys got to see which side each country was on. We got to see some cool countries that we might not have even known were in this war, like Australia, Canada, China. Okay, and they did play a part. All right, so hopefully this helps put the teams together in your mind for the different sides of this war, and have a great day.